So we're continuing this week with the presentations from the American Heart Association, an Aramark that we worked with through the Healthy for Life initiative. So,
and then I just sent some a couple of links in the chat. I'll be doing that a lot just so y'all can.
yeah, lots of links and resources. So
I just posted 2 of them. So if y'all want to follow along or do this in your free time, go right ahead.
yeah, thank you, Morgan.
Yeah, no problem.
There will be there's gonna be several. Yeah, so let's go ahead and dive right into it. So this is just the agenda, a little bit of an overview. So typically with this exercise or with this project, when it's done in person, so it's a little bit more active. So maybe we can try to do some stuff just, over Zoom, but we'll make the most with what we've got available. So. So here are the learning objectives, what we hope that you all can take away from what we talked about today. And again, we've talked about a lot of this before, but I think this does a really good job of consolidating and bringing all the information into one place. And so the objectives are to understand the American Heart Association's physical activity recommendations, identify one personal motivator and one way to remove a barrier to becoming more physically active, and establish a personal plan that works for you. So I'll try to play this video. Hopefully the sound works. I know that I'm notorious for not optimizing sound, so.
Exercising can be easy, inexpensive, and convenient. I first started walking with my family around my neighborhood and parking further away. To mix in other forms of exercise, I now jump rope, do calisthenics, and exercise when I watch TV. If you want to start getting more physically active with me, try the following. If you join a gym, you can start by walking on the treadmill, lifting weights, or attending a group fitness class. They can help you find a workout buddy to keep you accountable. When you work out, are you doing too much or not enough? There's a simple way to know: your target heart rate. As you exercise, take your pulse on the inside of your wrist on the thumb side. Use the tips of your first 2 fingers, not your thumb, to press lightly over the blood vessels on your wrist. Count your pulse for 10 seconds and multiply by 6 to find your beats per minute. You want to stay between 50% to 85% of your maximum heart rate. This range is your target heart rate. Your maximum heart rate is about 220 minus your age. It's also important that we fuel our bodies with the right foods and liquids before, during, and after exercising. Remember, it's okay to start slowly and build up to your goal. Today is a day to start on the road to better health.
All right, good deal. Happy that went successfully. So we're going to talk more about some of the stuff later on. Well, actually, all of the stuff that she talked about in the video. So I'll hold off on getting too in the weeds right now. So go ahead and switch. Sorry, it's always so awkward navigating the camera view on Zoom and then switching back to.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Turn it over to you, Mo.
All right. Thank you, Trent. So some of the benefits of regular physical activity are increased injury and better cardiovascular health. and heart health. Exercise can also lower blood pressure, improve blood sugar, reduce feelings of stress, improve quality of sleep, and reduce the time it takes to fall asleep. Improve memory and reduce the risk of dementia and depression, and also make you feel good about yourself. And I got another link that I'm going to share for you guys.
Yeah, so lots of benefits to exercise, and so I think sort of the key to figuring it out is finding an activity that works best for you and your personality and your lifestyle. And so there's obviously a wide range of options. So here are some tips so that you can try to figure out what physical activity would sort of work best for you. So if you're a social person, you can do something that engages you socially, like going to a group exercise class or just participating in a team sport, like through a lot of the events that Soki does. Or just doing like a physical activity with your friends, like going on a hike, for instance, or even just something like going to the park and going along a trail there. So if you prefer to do your physical activity more so alone, again, that's totally fine. Like if I'm doing more intense exercise, I typically like to do that by myself. Like I don't like to talk, whenever I'm in that state. And so there's lots of activities that you can do on your own. So you can obviously do just general workouts like cardio, like going for a run, or doing like a strength weightlifting activity on your own. But back to the sort of peer side. So if you find a peer group that is into the same things that you're into, they can really help to support you and support your goals and what you're trying to commit to. And so another thing is to make it a habit. And so be honest with yourself about what you're looking for and what you're trying to do. So if you're not a morning person, don't plan to get up super early. Again, like for me, I'm not a morning person. So whenever I try to work out early in the morning, it's not always a super great experience. So you want to make things attainable, give yourself attainable options. So there are a lot of ways to be realistic and to sort of fit physical activity into your life. You don't have to make it a big financial investment in physical activity. You can borrow exercise videos from the library. You can do weight or resistance training with items around your home, which I think Morgan is going to share a resource for that. So walking.
YouTube videos.
Oh, yep. YouTube is an excellent option as well. There's tons of exercise videos on YouTube. And so just going out for a walk, or if you're in a wheelchair, just a stroll in your wheelchair is also a great option. And another important thing is setting goals. So this is something that we've talked about a lot in prior activities and presentations. And so the AHA recommends 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic activity. So that would be like walking or biking, or 75 minutes of aerobic activity like jogging or playing a sport, or a combination of both. And preferably you want to spread that throughout the week. Those are good guidelines, but really I think it's best to try to spread it out over at least 5 or 6 days. That way you're getting at least something in every day if you can. And then keep going. So if you miss a day, or work out, you know, it can, once you're creating a routine and you do miss your first workout, because that's inevitably going to happen, it can be kind of frustrating. But you know, you just gotta keep going and try to keep on track. And so don't let little small hiccups that you're going to run into along the way prevent you from, you know, from doing your thing and committing to your goals. So we'll hold off on this because we're just going to go straight into talking about it, just to sort of save time. And then maybe if we can get into a larger discussion at the end. So here's some of the barriers that we're going to talk about in this presentation. So barriers to exercise include a lack of time, no social support, no motivation or energy, limited resource such as access to safe or accessible streets, life obligations and caregiving responsibilities, and fear of injury or a lack of skill.
Can I interrupt for 1 second about that slide,
Sure.
the previous slide?
This one?
Yeah, that one. Do you mean about? Do you mean like medical waivers when it comes to life obligations and caregiving responsibilities?
So we're going to go into the specifics of all of these, but yeah, that can certainly be a barrier for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're gonna go into the specifics of all these, and then if we don't cover exactly what you're thinking of, then yeah, we can definitely explore that further for sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, so these are some barriers that some people will face. Barrier, lack of time. Solutions. Monitor your activities for 1 week. Identify at least 5 30-minute time slots you could use for physical activity. Select activities that you can fit into your daily home or work routine, such as strolling in your neighborhood, climbing stairs, yoga, or dancing, parking parking farther away, or exercising while you watch TV. Select activities that you can do based on the time that you have availability or have available. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 20 minutes. Take advantage of school or employment, physical activity, facilities, and or programs. If possible, hold movement meetings and conference calls and try to stand, stretch, or move around some. Once you set aside dedicated time to be physically active, make the time. And here's going to be another link.
Yeah, and that's just a huge part of this process is time, and it can be super challenging to sometimes fit it in, and so it really helps to try to establish a routine, but time can definitely be a huge barrier for sure. So moving on to the next point, social support can also be a barrier for a lot of people, especially if your friends or family may not share the same interest in a specific physical activity that you're interested in. So it can be hard sometimes if you're wanting to participate in, you know, whatever the activity is, and you don't have a lot of people around you that are also interested in the same activity. So it can really help to explain your fitness or health goals to, my cat's making weird noises over there. But explain your fitness or health goals to your friends and family, and then ask for their support. And then even invite them to participate in the physical activity with you, and then plan activities involving the people that you sort of want to get involved if you are interested in that. And so if you have the option, you can try to find these groups at a gym as well and connect with people at a gym, or through different groups, or, you know, just like through what you're doing with Special Olympics, you know, building that community there and creating physical activity and health goals through people who you not only have common interest with, but you're actually, you know, participating in that set activity together.
Another barrier is lack of motivation and or energy. Solution: plan ahead. Schedule physical activity for specific times and days, and check it off your list or calendar. Each time you complete it, determine what what time of day you feel most energetic, and try to fit actively into that time frame. Play games or sports with friends. Join an exercise group or class, and seek out others in the group to motivate you to attend and keep you accountable. Try packing your workout clothes the night before, and taking them with you when you go to work as a reminder. Also, remember, regular physical activity is a mood lifter and can help relieve stress.
Yeah, that's a really good one too. I think that too, a lot of times, especially if you're exercising or you're doing a physical activity that's at a different location from where you are, that can really help. Because sometimes just showing up is, you know, all the motivation you need, really. Because once you get started, things can really start to get going, and you might feel a lot better. Now, again, that's not always going to be the case, but if that motivation and energy barrier is the biggest barrier, you know, sometimes taking that first step can really alleviate a lot of the problems. So another common barrier is a lack of resources. And so that may include the availability of equipment, access to facilities like a gym, or access to transportation, and different costs associated with physical activity and exercise resources. So some solutions might be selecting activities that require or that don't require gym equipment or a membership. So maybe just doing something like, you know, like Claire said, using YouTube videos to exercise at home, or doing yoga at home, or going for a walk outside, or
I also do a Fitbit.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I also do a Fitbit
Oh,
challenge
yeah.
and stuff for people.
Yeah, those are definitely those can be super awesome and super helpful as well. You can also use household equipment, like we said. So some things like soup cans, or like an empty gallon jug of milk, and you can put water in it, or sand, or which sand's kind of messy. Water's probably the easiest thing to use, but you can sort of make your own weights through just using those household items. And you can identify convenient resources in your community, such as parks and recreation programs, And then you can plan ahead by ensuring the facility that you're going to is accessible, and then identifying any assistance that you might need. And so other barriers suggest having an exercise partner to help hold you accountable and to motivate you to keep going. This person can also serve as a solution to potential transportation barriers. And you can also look into public transportation options that provide scheduled or routine pickups that provide accessibility accommodations for different vehicles.
Another barrier is life obligations like family, caregiving, or employment, which is all of that is very important. A solution to that is exercise with your friends or your family members. Go for a walk together, make it fun, and play tag or other running games. You can spend time together while making sure everyone is getting the daily physical activity they need to stay healthy. Work together to make exercise work. If you have a specific exercise class you like to attend, try something. Um, try alternating babysitting time or whatever you have going on that day with a neighbor or a friend.
So yeah, there's always going to be different life obligations that come up, which again, I think that it still goes back to, just trying to create a routine as best you can and sticking to it as best you can. So another big one is fear of injury. So a big thing with this is to just learning how to properly warm up and cool down to prevent any injury. Learning how to exercise appropriately considering your age, fitness level, skill level, and health status. Making sure that your form is good. You don't want to. That's a big part of a lot of different exercises. Is you don't want to put tension on your body where there's not supposed to be, tension. So, or pressure. And so another thing is just choosing activities with minimum risk can also help to sort of lessen the fear, and maybe you can ease your way into more difficult activities once you start out with some easier things. Because like yoga, for instance, there's many different levels to that. You can start off with something relatively simple, and then you can work your way up into it being a lot more difficult and more challenging. And also, you just want to listen to your body. And so if you feel any tense or sharp pains, or if you get injured, you definitely want to contact a healthcare provider. But also in the moment, you want to try not to, especially if you're just starting out a new activity, you definitely don't want to push things too far. There's obviously going to be some discomfort when you're trying a new physical activity, but again, you sort of want to ease into things and not push it too far when you're starting out. So.
Then last barrier is lack of skill. Solution: select activities that don't require new skills such as hiking, strolling, take stairs, dancing, or stretching. Other options include taking a class, meeting with a trained professional health coach, personal trainer, or watching fitness videos to develop new skills, as Claire recently said.
Yeah, and so I think with all of those barriers acknowledged, it's also important that you're fueling up properly. So you want to make sure that you're getting the right foods and liquids before, during, and after exercise. And so you can start about 2 hours before you start a physical activity by drinking water, eating healthy carbohydrates such as whole grain toast, fruits and vegetables. And if you only have like 5 minutes before a workout, you can eat something like an apple or a banana to help give you that energy. And then you also want to not drink too much water as you are exercising. You just want to take small sips and sort of keep your body hydrated, but not feel too bogged down. But after you exercise is when you want to really focusing on rehydrating and making sure you're getting enough water, and then eat any food. So if you've done like a weightlifting or resistance exercise, strength training, you want to make sure that you're getting protein in to help with your muscles, and make sure that if you're doing cardio or other activities that you're getting your healthy carbs in afterwards. But be sure to consult with a healthcare provider about any dietary requirements and recommendations before you start a new exercise program.
So when you work out, are you doing too much or not enough? There's a simple way to know. Check your target heart rate before you learn how to calculate and monitor your target training heart rate. You should know your resting heart rate. Your resting heart rate is the number of times your heart beats per minute while it's at rest. You can check it in the morning after you've had a good night's sleep and before you get out of bed. According to the National Institute of Health, the average resting heart rate for children 10 years and older and adults, including seniors, is 60, 100 beats per minute. These figures are averages, so use them as general guidelines.
So as you're exercising, you can take your pulse, which I know that a lot of different watches and things like that, like Fitbits or Apple Watches, do that now. But in case you don't have one, you can do one fairly simply. And so you can take your pulse by on the inside of your wrist, on the thumb side, so on this side, and use the tips of 2 fingers, not your thumb, and press lightly on the blood vessels over your wrist. So like the picture is showing. And then count your pulse for 10 seconds and then multiply that by 6 to find your heartbeats per minute. Or you can just count for 60 seconds. So you can just hold it on there for 60 seconds and count. And so you want to stay between 50% and 85% of your maximum heart rate. And so that's going to be sort of your target heart rate range when you're exercising. And so let's see, this has the excuse me, the target heart rates. Excuse me, man. A lot of burps coming up. And so as Morgan was saying, your maximum heart rate is about 220 minus your age. And so you can use this chart to kind of see where you all might fall. And then I think one of the links that Morgan shared has this chart on it. So you guys can refer back to it. Okay, so typically what you would be doing is rotating through different exercise rotations. Ideally, if this were being done in person. But we will view them through the through the PowerPoint. Then you can participate if you would like to in any of the ones that we'll be looking at. And so again, it's always important to consult with a medical provider before starting a new exercise routine. And let's see here. And so here is a sample of a workout. And let's see here. I think we're okay. So, and I think there's just there's so many links in this presentation. But I believe there's a link for this as well.
Not on this slide, but the next slide. Yeah, this one. Yeah.
This one is also on our website, and so it is sort of a guide of many different adaptive exercises that you can use, and just provide you sort of a walkthrough on how to do different ones in different ways. And so this is something we've talked about too. So what a workout looks like is you're going to start with a warm up, and then you're going to participate in the activity, and then you're going to cool down. So it's always important to warm up before exercising to ensure proper safety. It helps to lessen the risk of injury. So you want to think about warming up your muscles like you would warm up a car. So it increases the temperature and the flexibility of your muscles, and it helps you to be more efficient and safer during your workout. And so typically this is going to be 5 to 10 minutes. So the more intense the activity is that you're doing, the longer you would want the warm up to be. And so you want to walk through some of maybe the movements that you're going to be doing during your workout, but doing them at a slower pace, and then using your entire body as best you can. And then, so there's a part of this. So after, some people view warm-ups as separate from stretching. Some people view stretching as a part of warming up, but ideally you want to get your body warm and then go into stretching. And so here's our friend Colin on the PowerPoint. And so here's an example of how to do a calf stretch. And so that it's got it shown how to do it by standing up, and then it's got two different levels to do it while sitting down. So if you're standing, you want to stand facing a wall and put both hands on the wall, and then position one foot forward with your knee bent and the other leg back with your legs straight, and both feet, toes pointing to the wall. And then you want to keep your stomach tight and then lean forward toward the wall until you feel the stretch in the lower part, in the back of your leg. And then you want to hold that for about 20 to 30 seconds. And then, so if you're doing it seated, you want to start by sitting on the floor or your bed with your legs straight out in front of you. And then you can use like a towel or even like an old shirt or a pair of pants or something. And you can put it around your foot if you can't reach all the way to your foot. And then you want to try to flex your foot up and do a gentle stretch. You don't want to, again, do anything too difficult or too much tension or pressure on your body, and then hold for 20 seconds. And then here is a video quickly.
Stand 12 inches away from a wall or a sturdy chair. Step back so one leg is behind you, keeping both feet flat on the floor and your back knees straight. Lean in towards the wall or chair until you feel a stretch in the back of your leg. Hold for 10 seconds and repeat on the other side. If seated, keep feet flat on the floor and pull the toes of one foot off the ground and point up as high as you can. Hold for 10 seconds and repeat on other side. You can use a band to help you raise up your toe if needed.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
that was an example of the calf stretch. And so here's squats. So these are pretty simple. So you want to place your feet hip width apart if you're able, and then bring your arms forward and then sort of sit back as if you're reaching for a chair that someone is pulling away, but be sure that your knees do not move over your toes as you're squatting down. And then you want to try to lower your body down and go down as far as you can until your thighs are parallel with the floor, if you can make it down. And then so all the weight, the key thing about a squat is that all the weight should be on your heels. So it should be on the back of your feet and not the front of your feet. And then show some modified versions of the squat.
Place a chair behind you for added support. Stand with your feet a little wider than shoulder width and point your toes forward. Slowly lower your body towards the chair as you hinge at your hips. Keep your weight back on your heels and your back as straight as possible. Do not let your knees to cross in front of your toes. Use the chair for as much support as needed as you straighten your legs to come up to standing. Repeat. You can do your own version of a squat seated by placing your hands on the arms of the chair. Keep your elbows tucked in close to your body. Then press through your hands to lift your body off the chair. Then slowly return to the seated position and repeat.
And again, all of these are on our websites. We've got all those videos that you can view. And so here is just for the sake of time, I won't go too specific into the logistics of a side lunge. We'll go ahead and watch the video. Better job of explaining.
Holding on to a table for support, point toes forward and place one foot in front of the other foot. Let your back knee drop towards the floor, but do not let it touch the ground. Keep your back straight and do not let your front knee to cross your toes. Switch legs and repeat. You can also do your own version of a lunge seated in a chair. Place your hands on your hips or lap. Keep your back straight while you lean forward at the waist as far as feels comfortable. Slowly return to sitting up and lift your legs with your hands one at a time before repeating.
So here's everybody's favorite elementary school exercise, the jumping jack. Again, pretty simple, but there are a few different ways to do these as well.
Sorry about the yelling.
Stand tall with your back straight, shoulders down, arms at your sides, and feet together. While stepping side to side, raise your arms over your head with your elbows bent. You can also do this seated in a chair, focusing on the movement in your upper body and core. Simply raise your arms over your head with your elbows bent. The bigger the movement, the more challenging the exercise.
Yeah, so you don't even have to, your feet don't even have to leave the floor, like when you're doing the more traditional jumping jack. So, well, if I can try to. Sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. And then here is also an example of arm circles. And this one's from those were all from the Fit Blue, which are on a playlist on our website. And then these also are, but this is not a part of the Fit Blue exercises.
I'm Heidi with Project Cheer, and the exercise we're learning today are arm circles.
Arm circles are a great exercise to help strengthen the muscles in our shoulder and neck region. Remember, arm circles are done in the exact same way whether you are sitting or standing. First, find 2 weights that you would like to use for the exercise. These should be weights that you feel you could lift and hold out to the side of your body at shoulder height. Next, sitting straight up with a tall posture, elevate your arms out to each side at shoulder height while keeping them straight to get into our starting position whether you are sitting or standing. Now we will perform our arm circles. With your arms still out to the side, begin moving your hands in a circular motion forwards and backwards. Once you have performed 1 full circle with each arm, you have reached the end position. For this exercise, we will want to count 1 to 2 seconds while going all the way around with our circular motion, remembering to control your breathing with slow breaths in and forceful breaths out. For this exercise, 1 set is between 15 to 20 repetitions before taking a break, and our goal is to do 3 sets. For our beginners, start with no weight when performing the arm circles, and if you're at an experienced level, try between 1 to 2 pounds. Finally, if you are at an expert level, try arm circles with 3 or more pounds. Before we finish, I would like to talk about 1 change you can make to your exercise arm circles today. If you are interested in exercising the muscles located on the front of your shoulder, then try performing the arm circles in front of your body instead of to the side. That's all for now. Thank you for watching our video, and please be sure to check out our program website for more resources and information on adaptable exercise.
All right, so next is cardio alternative, so pretty much dance. Dancing is a great way to do either moderate or vigorous intensity aerobic activity. This is a fun way to increase your heart rate.
Yeah, so there are definitely a lot of ways to get your cardio in through or other than just doing something like running. So dance can definitely be a super fun thing and something that you can do at home as well. And so obviously after the warm up, the stretch, and the exercise, you always want to cool your body down. And so cooling down after a workout is definitely as important as the warm up. So after physical activity, your heart is still beating faster than normal. Your body temperature is higher and your blood vessels are dilated. And so this means if you stop too fast, you could pass out or end up feeling sick. And so a cool down after physical activity allows a gradual decrease at the end of the exercise. and allows the gradual decrease for your body. And so it's good to stretch when you're cooling down as well, because your limbs and muscles and joints are still warm. And so stretching can help to reduce the buildup of lactic acid, which can lead to muscles cramping and stiffness and soreness. So stretching sort of at the end. So it's you definitely want to do lighter stretches, because you know your body is already super warmed up from exercising. So a little bit lighter of a stretch than what you did at the beginning, or even during the exercise, but it can definitely help to alleviate some pain. And so some things that you can do is you can walk or dance slowly, or simply move your body for about 5 minutes, or until your heart rate gets down lower, below 120 beats per minute. And then, so as you're stretching, you want to hold for 10 to 30 seconds. And then if you feel the need to stretch more on one side, then, you know, you can always do that. Or, you know, one arm feels like it needs more stretching than the other, then that's perfectly fine. And you can definitely do that. So definitely want to get equal on all sides of your body. But again, you want the stretches to be strong, but you don't want them to be painful. And you don't want to bounce as you're stretching. And so again, as with all physical activity, always remember to breathe, exhale out as you're stretching, and then inhale in as you're holding the stress, if you can remember to do so.
Okay, so refuel after exercising. When choosing a snack, be mindful of dietary restrictions. After you exercise, make sure to drink water and snack on healthy carbohydrates and protein. And I'll send another link out. So many links.
Yeah, lots and lots of resources on this one. So here's just some general handouts about how much physical activity is needed. So this is sort of just a summary of some of the things that we've talked about. But it sort of helps to keep all the information concise. Same with this. And this, yeah. So these all have information in different ways, or contain the same information, but are sort of telling you different ways and different things that you can do to engage in physical activity, and different ways that it can help, and while trying to follow the guidelines of what the American Heart Association has laid out. And so one last thing is creating a physical activity plan. So you can work with your healthcare provider on a physical activity plan that works for your needs and abilities. So next time you're at the doctor for a checkup, this is definitely a big talking point that you can use to just try and stay healthy, and to try to keep doing the things that you enjoy, and find out how you can incorporate different types of, or really you would ideally want to incorporate all 3 different types of physical activity. So you want to do your aerobic exercise to strengthen and keep your heart healthy. You want to do strength exercises to keep your muscles and your body in good condition. And then you also want to do strength exercises to, or it's not strength, stretching exercises to keep your body flexible. And,
Okay.
and then
I
back
promise,
to,
guys, we're almost done. So we're gonna get to SMART goals. So again, specific, clearly defined, measurable, able to be measured, attainable, achievable, or within reach, relevant, appropriate, or applicable, time-based, given a due date. And then okay, and then next slide is, so examples of SMART goals. Would be, I will be more physically active. Well, that's not real specific on when, how long you're going to do it and when. So a SMART goal would be, I will do muscle strengthening activities for 20 minutes, Tuesdays and Thursdays on my lunch. Then here's something that you can also do if you, just to keep you, keep your SMART goals, and so you can make your own SMART goal.
yeah, this is, again, super useful. Really nailing in just, which we've talked about this every time, but it is super helpful and really good for all areas of life, not just physical activity. But we made it to the end. It was a marathon, not a sprint today, but that's okay. We made it. We did it.
Thank
you
y'all
guys
for being troopers and hanging in there.
you guys have any specific questions? We've got.
I do have a question. What kind of stretches should I do when I'm on Zoom and stuff and my neck is hurting and stuff?
So for neck stretches, you can do neck
Or
roll.
when I'm like
You
doing
also,
screen.
yeah, a big thing too is like posture exercises. So like pushing your chin back, because where we're looking at screens all day or on our phones, or our necks are slowly going down instead of being up. So pushing your chin back. And
how does that work?
Just like that.
Well, I mean, not so you want to like tuck it, so you don't want to
kind of like this.
Yeah, but you want to keep the back of your head up. It's I'm not doing a good job of explaining it, but
it's okay.
So typically if you were up against a wall, so your back would be against the wall, the top of your head would be against the wall, and then you tuck your chin in.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of helps to stretch. And you can also do something similar where you put your head on the wall, your back on the wall. And then if you're standing up, you want to make sure that your heels are on the wall too. And then you can see if you can move your arms up and do some while keeping your whole body on the wall. So that can be good for your neck and for your back with your posture. But that's a good question, Claire. There's a lot of different stretches that you can do for your posture and for your neck. But yeah, and just doing like the head rolls or dropping one ear to one shoulder. And it can also help if you take your hand, which I don't have much room, but if you like create kind of a chicken wing with your arm, and that can really help to sort of accentuate the stretch. So if you take this hand and you put it behind your back, and then you grab onto it with your other hand,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you create a wing, so that can really help with the and you can do the other side, because that's a really good neck stretch too. But yeah, that's
Just be careful in the neck exercises. Don't like hurt your neck or anything. Like just easy.
yeah, definitely don't want to overdo it.
Or like this, like Trent said, and this front and back. Just like stretching your arms pretty much. We'll go like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I just been getting neck pain right in here.
Yeah, you definitely want to stretch it out for sure.
So I have a couple questions. One for you and one for Special Olympics of Kentucky.
Okay, sure thing.
Remember, I asked you about the caregiver medical waivers.
Mm-hmm.
Would all of this fall under that with caregivers?
So do you mean like a medical waiver? What do you mean exactly by?
Specifically, the Michelle P waiver.
Oh, like
the government
like
waivers.
Michelle P. SCL. Like, are you asking about certain activities that are available for Michelle P. waiver participants?
Yeah.
I'm sure there are different things. I know that yeah, I'm sure that there are specific things that you can participate in. I'm not super knowledgeable on the waiver, but there might be some like allotment for like physical activity and exercise. But that would be, do you have like a case manager or maybe talking to your parents about that? They would probably have more specific knowledge on activity specifics to the waiver.
Okay. Well, the reason for asking is because I have CLS workers who are also on the waiver. I have had several, and I was wondering if I could do like fitness stuff with them too.
Yeah, I would say definitely, because I know that, and again, they may have to talk and figure that out, but I know that I think CLS workers, are able to help to engage and support individuals with different physical activities for sure.
Yeah, because I go on walks with my CS worker, and we go to the park and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. So I have a question for Special Olympics Kentucky. My last question is, actually, here's a statement. I was wondering if anyone in particular, any athlete or staff member could help me stay with my goals. I've done a lot so far on my own, and the rest of everything that Trent has covered, I might need some assistance with a staff member or an athlete or anybody. I can do it virtually or in person. I'm willing to be flexible.
Yeah, Megan, let's chat the next time that you're in the office, kind of like we talked about next time with Wellness Wednesday. Let's talk the next time that you're here. Just find myself or Kim, and we can help with that.
Thank you. That would be great.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all I have to say, and everybody's have a great day. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your questions, Megan.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming out. I'm sorry that it was very long today, way longer than the other presentations, but yeah, hopefully you all enjoyed, and then we will touch base, and like our team will touch base with Kelly and Kim and try to figure out what the next steps are. But I think that the plan is definitely to be on break through the rest of the summer. But I'm sure Kelly will send out more information soon once we get a future plan set
I
up.
was getting ready to ask when we were coming back.
Yeah, we're definitely looking towards the fall. So we've got some planning to do, some conversations to have, but so just stay tuned because we'll have more details later, but we will be on break for the summer.
Oh, okay, Kelly. That sounds good.
Hey, Luke.
I do have a
Hey,
question
Katie.
for the summer.
How's it going?
Good.
Good. Good. Good. Where are
I
you?
do have a question
You
for
working?
the summer
I'm at work.
sports for special.
Well, I'm off
yeah.
work, but I'm doing it through on my phone and stuff. So.
Yay.
Well, question, Claire?
Yay.
Yeah, I have a question for Special Olympics for the summer games, for the summer sports.
Go ahead.
Are we gonna be doing the incarnation tournament for softball this year or no?
Yeah, we don't know about that yet.
Okay, thank you.
Hunter will communicate as soon as we have those details. Hunter will make sure that gets out to all of our coaches.
Okay, we know about the 0-10 one. I just did not know about the. And when should the games start?
For regional play or for leagues?
For leagues.
Your coach will have all that information.
Okay, I'll have to ask my dad because I think I accidentally deleted that email.
Oh, gotcha. Well, just reach out to your coach, talk to him, and then if not, Hunter can always provide that information.
Okay. Yeah, my dad, Coach Doug, and then Bill, all my softball coaches, and Meg, and then Ray and Shara. And I'm up to date on all my physical.
Awesome.
For Special Olympics.
That's great.
All right. Well, thank you all for coming on with us every Wednesdays, and hope to do it again soon.
Yeah.
But
It
until
was fun, Morgan.
Yeah,
it was a lot of fun.
For the ones that.
Yes, this is a lot of fun. Very, very good information to know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Lots of fascinating facts too. So.
And before you guys go, Morgan, I have a question. Can you send all those websites to everybody through email, even though it's on the chat?
I think so. I'm not.
I'll work on that. Maybe I can send them to Kelly.
That would be great. We can do that.
I got them copied and pasted onto Word Search. On Word
Yeah, I
document.
know it was a little overwhelming today with the links, but yeah, probably be
I
better
got
to
it
just
to
send
do
them out.
that. I just copied and pasted over to the Word document page.
That's good. That's wise.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for today. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you. You all have a great
Thanks,
day.
everybody.
Kelly.
Have a great summer.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
see some of you
And
guys
Kelly,
soon for softball.
and Kelly, just
Yeah,
wanted
I'll
to
see you
let
for
you know,
softball too.
Kelly, I just wanted to let you know, I will let you know when I'm coming to the office.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
All
All
right,
right.
See you
Bye,
all.
everybody.